Right now, the most important thing in the world is human consciousness.
Individual human beings have become so phenomenally powerful, empowered by technology. If now human consciousness does not rise, the world will go towards destruction.
Because once you become human, you have enough awareness and consciousness to evolve consciously.
In one way, what you call as myself is a certain level of awareness.
So consciousness means just this, you are well lit inside, so you see everything just the way it is. Enlightenment means you fully lit up within yourself.
Right now, the most important thing in the world is human consciousness. Tremendous technologies have come. All these technologies, if they have to become meaningful force in human well-being, it is first the human being that we need to work on. Great things are available in our hands, but if we don't have human beings who are in a certain level of perception and wisdom, then all these technologies can be a big disaster for humanity. At least if you are not empowered with technology, maybe we didn't have to so much bother about human consciousness, we could have allowed another 500 years of stupidity. But not anymore, the way the technology is growing, if human beings don't grow accordingly, we are going to make a big disaster out of everything. Do you see the disaster always lurking on the edge? It can just happen any moment. So when we are hugely empowered, when we are slowly with the aid of science and technology, we are becoming like giants. If you were just an ant, it was okay how you walk, you can crawl upon anybody, it's all right. Once you become a giant, you better walk carefully, isn't it? Extremely carefully, otherwise every step will be disaster. So in many ways, humanity has become a huge giant, hugely empowered. It's time that they walk very, very cautiously with full awareness, otherwise they will step upon themselves and finish it off. There are some things that need to happen around us. This is not my mission, it is not my life's mission that I have to fulfill it. If it doesn't happen, I will die unsatisfied. There is no such thing for me. There are people for whom some things are needed. Anyway, we are doing some nonsense in our life. Let's do something useful, that's all. Anyway, some nonsense we have to do, isn't it? You cannot keep quiet, I can keep quiet without doing anything. You cannot keep quiet, anyway you will do something. Why don't you do something which is useful? Why don't you do something which will touch people's lives? That's all. So, reaching out to another human being need not happen because you have taken a vow, I'm going to do it. Keep your humanity active, anyway it will happen. How can you not do it? How can you not do it that you hold as a part of yourself? So when it comes from that, it'll happen gently, well. You take up a mission, somebody will become your enemy, you know. Whatever the mission, if you stand up for a mission, there'll be some other mission which will stand against you. So don't take up a mission, just keep your humanity in full force. What has to happen, what you can do will anyway happen. So, you yourself cannot go to the village, you yourself cannot go to the slum and do all that. Somebody else is doing it, at least do something to make that happen, that's all.
This is like confusing with the conscious and unconscious.
What is in your awareness is conscious, what is not in your awareness is unconscious.
How to be aware every moment in that?
We will come. Right now, you're awake, so you are aware of the light, the air and this and that around you and the people around you. Suppose you fall asleep. Suddenly you become unaware of all these things, isn't it? Right now, you are aware who is sitting next to you for some moment. Now I am talking to you, you become unaware who is sitting next to you, isn't it? So what you're aware of, what you're unaware of is varying the sphere and the area of your awareness is varying at different times, isn't it? You're not always aware to the same extent. Whether it's about the outside or the inside, you are not always aware to the same extent. When we talk awareness, we are not talking about becoming more and more aware about the outside. That is only for survival. To the extent it is necessary for survival, we must be aware of the outside. See, if you take the animals, for example, your dog. First of all, why dog entered your life? Today maybe for other purposes, but initially why dog entered your life is, he is much more aware than you about the outside, isn't it? If you fall asleep, he still keeps hearing and smelling and tasting and everything around him. That's why you keep the dog at home, isn't it? Today maybe for companionship because people have abandoned you but otherwise fundamentally dog came into our lives because he's more aware of the outside than you are, isn't it? He can see things and smell things and hear things that you cannot. That's the reason why he has come into your life. But we are not talking about that kind of awareness. When we say awareness, we are talking about you being aware of yourself. So how much of you is in your awareness right now? If you look at it, you will see very small aspects of you are in your awareness. So, we have to deepen this process. If awareness has to grow, in one way, if you look at it, what you call as myself is a certain level of awareness, isn't it? Yes? If your awareness disappears, you also disappear, isn't it so? Right now you are alive, how do you know? Simply because you're aware, yes? So in one way, what you call as myself is a certain level of awareness. But that awareness is happening in a minimal way. We want to extend this to every aspect of who I am, so that who I am becomes a completely conscious process. How to do it? Awareness has become a small thing simply because it's lost in these two heaps. The heap of food that you gathered as body and the heap of impressions that you gathered as mind, especially the heap of impressions. Now if you separate it a little bit, suddenly awareness is in full flow. Because it's lost in this, it is like there is a light bulb. Now if you cover it with lot of cloth, still the light is burning, but light doesn't help to see, isn't it? Now one thing is to crank up the voltage so that light becomes more intense, but the important thing is to remove the cloth that is covering it, isn't it? So we will do both. One thing is to clear it up, another thing is to crank up the voltage. If these two things are done together, properly, sensibly, then you will see more of yourself than ever before.
Right now there is no experience of life. Largely you're just a bundle of thought, emotion, ideas, opinions and prejudices. Your psychological drama is being mistaken for life. You must see how people die. It's very important. If you watch people die, over 80% of the people on this planet, when the moment of death comes, there is no pain, there is not even fear, but you will see bewilderment on their face. Like this they go. Because it's like you went to the cinema, you bought the ticket, went to the cinema, you sat there, during the trailer itself you fell asleep. And when they turn on the lights after the movie, you woke up. What, it's already over? This is how most people are dying. This is the most unfortunate way to die. Because before you open your account, it's over. Your own thought and emotion kept you so busy, you thought this is life. But when the moment of death comes, suddenly you know the drama that you were turning on within you looked so real, but the moment lights are going off, then you know this is not it. Your psychological drama, we can all sit in the same place and each one of us can have something different going in our minds right now, yes or no? So obviously what's happening in your mind is your psychological reality, it's not existential. It has no existential basis. It is in this sense people are telling you be in the moment, because there is no basis to your psychological reality. You can make up whatever you want. Or in other words, your creation, your petty creation has become larger than the magnificent creation of the Creator. So spiritual process means you set this anomaly right. You understand your psychological reality is something that you're making up. I'm not saying you should not make it up, you can, but you must be able to switch it off when you don't want. The problem is it's just on 24 hours, so it looks like that is the reality. It is not the reality, you're just making it up. Yes or no? The made-up world has become larger than the real world. Just to correct this is spiritual process. You understand what is real and what is made up. This means you're spiritual. If you can identify what is existentially true and what is not true, you will navigate your way through life effortlessly, isn't it? If your mind, your body takes instructions from you, being peaceful and joyful is not even an issue. Is it an issue? If your body and mind is taking instructions from you, is it an issue? Is it even a consideration? Do you have to even bother about it, how to be peaceful, how to be joyful? There's no such thing. This is coming from a very unnatural situation because made-up world has become larger than the real world. What's happening on your phone has become bigger than the cosmos, isn't it? So spiritual process does not mean… is not prescribing how you should be whichever way you want. You like misery, do it, what's my problem? If you're enjoying misery, what is my problem? I will not tell you be joyful. You like to be miserable, I appreciate that. But if you had a choice, would you choose misery? No. Maybe once in a way you like to read a tragedy or watch a tragedy, that is somebody else suffering, not you, isn't it? You may want to watch a tragic movie or a drama, but you don't want a tragedy in your life, isn't it so? I trust your judgment on these things. So spiritual process means that you read the user's manual, you know exactly how this works. You keep it whichever way you want, that's up to you. You like misery once in a way, you like to… people like some bitter things, not just sweet things. You want to enjoy that, what is my issue? I have no issue. Enjoy it. But as long as you are choosing consciously, right now misery is happening compulsively, isn't it? It's not happening consciously, it is happening compulsively. Once you get into the cycle, there is no other way. It rules you. Being human means just this, that you can consciously decide what is the nature of your experience right now. That means being human. Being in a state of compulsive reaction means lack of evolution. Yes or no? This is the animal nature. They can't help it. They have to be in a compulsive state of reaction. That's the only way they can exist. That is their nature right now. Being human means everything that animals do, you also do. They eat, they sleep, you sleep, they reproduce, you reproduce, they die, you die. Only thing is, we can conduct the same things that they do compulsively, we can do it consciously. That's the big difference, isn't it? Yes or no? Yes. If you do not exercise that one thing, that you can conduct yourself consciously, it is a backward step in the evolutionary process. So spiritual process means a forward step in the evolutionary process. That means everything is conscious for you, nothing is unconscious. The very way you sit, stand, breathe, everything has become conscious for you. Once it's conscious, you will conduct it the way you want. Right now the only and only source of misery is life is not happening the way you think it should happen. Is there any other source? Huh? No, it's not happening the way you think it should happen. If your mind thinks the way you want, if your body functions the way you want, life is happening the way you want. That's spiritual process. What is the nature of this life? Now, how to raise this consciousness? See, it's like this. When I came, these lights were dazzling. Too much light. So I said like this, now somebody turns down the voltage and became dim. Suppose there is a light here with very low voltage, everything else is off, just one light. What do you see? You see only this piece, one little patch. We turned up the voltage a little bit, then you saw that much, oh, 5 people are sitting here. Turned up the voltage, suddenly, oh, so many people are sitting here. All these people did not exist in your experience when the voltage was low. Light was showing only this much, you did not see all this. They're all living people, but you did not see. So, consciousness is not an act. Consciousness is not something that you can artificially pump up. To be aware is to be alive. How do you know that you're alive right now? Only because you're aware to some extent, isn't it? Suppose you fell asleep right now, right here, would you know whether you're alive or dead? We know. But would you know? You do not know, isn't it? When you fall asleep, maybe you're dead, you do not know. Only from outside, because we see you breathing, we know, okay, she's alive, she's only sleeping. But in your experience, you do not even know whether you're alive or dead, isn't it? So now you know you're alive. How? Because you're little aware. If you become little more aware, you would know many more things. If you become much more aware, you would know many more things. For this, you don't try to be aware, you just need to turn up the voltage. For this, there is an established scientific process, how to turn up the voltage to the highest possible level so that everything that we can know about this life, we know naturally because it's all lit up. Nothing is hiding, everything is lit up so we can see everything. Suppose there's little light here, we can see her, little dark patch here, we cannot see them. Yes or no? Now, properly lit place, you can see everything that's here. Does it take an effort? Hello? Does it take an effort? Where is this person? Where is that person? Does it take an effort? No. It's well lit, you simply see. So consciousness means just this, you are well lit inside. So you see everything just the way it is. It's in this context the word light is used. Enlightenment means you're fully lit up within yourself. You may not see the light bulbs, but you're lit up. So within yourself you see everything that you need to see. Once you know this piece of life entirely, everything in the existence you know because you know everything in the existence only the way it happens within you, isn't it so? Do you see me right now? Hello? Even if you're not listening, do you see me? Huh? Just use one hand and point out where I am. You're getting it wrong, you know. I am a mystic, you know. Now, this light is falling upon me, reflecting, going through your lenses, inverted image in the retina. You know the entire story, isn't it? Where do you see me right now? Within yourself. Where do you hear me right now? Within yourself. Where have you seen the whole world? Within yourself. Have you ever experienced anything outside of yourself? No. Have you? Have you ever experienced anything outside of yourself? Light and darkness is happening within you. Sound and silence is happening within you. Joy and misery is happening within you. Agony and ecstasy is happening within you. You have never experienced anything outside of you, is that so? Did you experience something here? No. You experience everything the way it happened within you. Even right now, somebody next to you touches your hand. If someone touches your hand, you think you're experiencing their hand. No, you're only experiencing the sensations in your hand, isn't it? So in the very nature of things, You can never ever experience anything other than yourself. You think you're seeing the stars. No, you're seeing it only the way it's projected in the firmament of your mind, isn't it? You don't know how the stars are, you know it only the way it's happening within you. Yes or no? So if you want to know this better, you don't read a scripture, you don't listen to other people's discourses, you work to sharpen your perception so that you see things clearly. Now, the world is reflecting itself in the mirror of your mind. Now the only thing you need to do is, right now your mirror is little wonky. Have you ever seen yourself in a convex, concave or distorted mirrors? You go stand there, you look like this. Suppose that is the kind of mirror you have in your bathroom, bedroom, every place. After some time you would really start believing, this is how I am, isn't it? Yes or no? So you make sure you get a plain mirror so that you can see your face just the way it is, isn't it? So this is all the work is, to get your mind to a place that no grime is sticking on it. It is a plain mirror, so if you hold it, it just shows everything just the way it is, no distortion. If you see everything just the way it is, would you navigate your life effortlessly? That's all, isn't it?
When we refer to higher dimension, what exactly it is? From evolutionary point of view, human beings are the most sophisticated species. What is it exactly after that?
On this planet, don't think you are the most sophisticated being, on this planet.
So, what exactly it means from this reference point of view as a human being, higher dimension after this? Is it something in some other planet or is it some energy form? What exactly is it, and are there any levels of higher dimension? Because the evolution is progressive, so if we say higher dimension, are there more levels to it?
In your experience of life, do you find all human beings at the same level of evolution? I'm asking you, without prejudice. With all due respect to every human being, do you find every human being at the same level of evolution? Nobody has a tail though, that they've passed. But there are many who look more complete with a tail or horns. A whole lot of them would look more complete with a horn growing out of their head because they're always… Yes or no? You drive on the street and see. In this country it's better, though the traffic is such a mess. Though driving in India is probably the most challenging thing. But I see in other countries, the drivers driving their dream cars are on the edge. Smallest thing, they're in a rage. Actually, that is not so much here, at least in South India. In North India, we know road rages. In South, it's not like that. We crash into each other, we sit down and discuss, and maybe we'll settle our son's wedding or daughter's wedding right there. We believe this is our fate, we crashed together. We met with a bang. You don't see much rage on southern Indian roads, but North India it happens. But in other countries I see the rage is so much. Though traffic is far more disciplined, very rarely anybody gets into your way. Here every moment somebody is getting in your way. Everybody is, trying to earn that 7 years imprisonment by attempting… They're all testing their horoscope. Their astrologer has told them you will live to 80 years, so they're testing it today, whether it's true or not. It's a whole lot of things happening. So, in spite of all this horoscope testing, you don't find much rage. So, people who are in such a state of rage, if you gave them claws and horns, it would be more suitable, isn't it, for their state of mind and emotion. They actually want to claw somebody, but they don't have the claws. The evolutionary process should be one day they'll get the claws. So you don't find all of them the same level of evolution, because it's a threshold that we have crossed. That doesn't mean that's the end of it. Because the significance of being human is just this. We are not doing anything very different from what the other creatures are doing, same damn things. We are born, they are born, just like that. Their mothers delivered them, our mothers delivered us. Their mothers were more efficient with delivery, our mothers struggled. Okay? Yes. Because they delivered in hundreds, our mother to deliver one, she struggled so much. They eat, we eat, they sleep, we sleep. They reproduce, we may reproduce. They die, we die. The only thing is we can do all this, we can conduct all these very simple aspects consciously. So in a day, from the moment I leave the sleep time for you, that also needs to be considered, but we will leave that. From the moment you come awake till the moment you fall asleep, how many moments and how many actions and how many thoughts and how many emotions, or how much percentage of it do you conduct consciously? This will determine the state of your evolution right now. If you conduct it consciously, you will do it in a certain way. If you're going about compulsively, you will look like any other creature. Yes? You will look like just any other creature, not any different, once you do things compulsively. Only when you conduct it consciously, you seem to be on the peak of evolution on this planet, not otherwise. So you can gauge by yourself, I don't want to pass a judgment on anybody. From the moment you come awake till the time you go asleep, fall asleep, how much percentage of time are you conducting your body, your mind, your emotion, your energy and your actions consciously? If you are less than 1%, you know there's a lot of work to do. And I would tell you, if I have to speak frankly, more than 90% is less than 1%. Less than, well below 1%, more than 90% of the people. Those 10% who do little more than 1%, suddenly they look like such graceful beings. Just from tomorrow morning, you want to do it from tomorrow morning? Or now? From this moment till you fall asleep, just see how much of you can you conduct consciously, all aspects of you. Your body, your actions, your mind, your thoughts, your emotions, your energies, everything. To what extent can you conduct it consciously? You see, if you conduct this consciously for 5 minutes, by tomorrow morning people will bow down to you without knowing why they're doing. So that's evolution. And it's something you can do. If you just see it's me, not something else, you will evolve. Because once you become human, you have enough awareness and consciousness to evolve consciously. When you were a monkey, you did not decide, I'll become human being. Nature just pushed you on. But now you're conscious enough to decide, I want to evolve from where I am to whatever is possible. Just try. Just maintain 5 minutes, manage your life consciously today. You will see tomorrow morning how you will be. You will be shining, believe me.
This is a time when we have to change it, because for the first time in the history of humanity, raising human consciousness has become a far more important concern than ever before. Why I'm saying it's the far more important concern than ever before is, for the first time, individual human beings have become so phenomenally powerful, empowered by technology. If now human consciousness does not rise, the world will go towards destruction, because right now we are constructing the world in such a way, we are like that proverbial story An Indian story, a popular story is, a man is cutting a branch of a tree, sitting at the wrong end of the tree. If he succeeds, he will fail. 100 years ago, 1000 years ago, what could a man do with his two hands? Today what 10,000 men can do, one man can do. Yes? What 10,000 men can do or could not do 1,000 years ago, one man can do today. When such an empowerment has come, raising human consciousness becomes absolutely vital. If that doesn't happen, we're definitely heading for destruction. Because right now the way we are constructing the economic module is about more, more and more. So raising human consciousness is the most vital thing to be done on the planet right now. According to United Nations, by 2050, we will be 9.6 billion people. If you are 9.6 billion people, what it means is all of us have to exist here with 40% less resource than what we have right now. When I say resource, I am not talking about oil, I am not talking about gold, or I am not talking about something else. I am talking about water, the air that you breathe, the food that you eat, above all air and water. What it feels like, your children's lives, what it will feel like in another 50 years or 40 years. If you want to know, every minute you're taking approximately 12 to 15 breaths. Try to do 4 breaths or 5 breaths less than what you're doing right now. How it feels, that is how our children's lives will feel in 40 years' time on this planet. That is what we are living. This is our legacy for the future generations. Unless we wake up and do something sensible now. Now, I'm not talking about ecological stuff. Ecology is not the problem. Human being is the problem, isn't it? Don't try to fix the world. If you and me are fixed, the world will be fine, isn't it? Otherwise, either we correct this consciously or nature will do it to us cruelly. Yes? If you do it consciously, it'll be a good thing. Otherwise, anyway corrections will happen. These corrections will be extremely cruel for humanity. And humanity is not some strange word, that is your children and our children. So raising human consciousness becomes very vital today.